How you doing?
Not in a white shirt this time. So,
Oh, that's good. You're not going to blend into your environment or get chroma keyed out or anything.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, we are live already.
Oh,
Yep.
awesome.
So, welcome to the Vomitorium Weekday show for the 20th of August, 2021. Cutting just a minute or two ahead of the curve. As always, I am your host, The Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. I already asked, but how you doing today?
Doing good. Just kind of running around.
Yeah, you seem kind of out of breath when you hopped on.
Yeah. I had a friend who went to the hospital, and he's coming home tomorrow. So I went and ordered some flowers.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. So I was like ordering flowers and then had to go check on something. So yeah, I just ran up the stairs, so hopefully I'm not too out of breath.
Yeah, as you could tell,
I tend to start early.
Back in the normal room. We're back to normal schedule, normal life.
Very good.
Yeah,
and I'm back in my room closet. So
is your new position as custodian of South Park Elementary?
Yeah, apparently. So the Diablo 2 Resurrected open beta is open.
Oh, okay.
As of
And so was that a preliminary one, more like a stress test before they did the full
I think
open
so.
beta?
Yeah, I think so. And now, I don't know if this is open to everyone. If anyone's interested, you could try. You could try downloading the beta client with the Battle.net downloader installer thingy, but I don't know. I think the first one was only for people who pre-ordered, and then this one is, I think, for everyone. So even more of a stress test. But I don't think I'm going to play it because I don't think I'm going to mess with the beta anymore because it's only online, and of course I think you lose all your progress. Maybe not, but I'm guessing you do when it starts again. And
that would be
tend
weird
to only play
for especially things that are only online. Because I've done, it's not an MMO, right? It's just a traditional dungeon crawler that has online features. But I've done a lot of CTTs, betas, and alphas for MMOs and stuff. And everything's account based. You keep the same account, so when they go live, sometimes they have to adjust some shit in your account. But when they adjust something, it's a global thing. So they'll adjust the variable for this item or whatever, and it'll affect everyone's account. Usually keep every single thing. They don't delete your characters or anything like that.
I'm not sure. It's weird. The Blizzard installer is really strange. It's a different, depending on whether you select beta or retail. It's you have to reinstall the whole thing.
Oh, that's
and weird. So and it's a different account. So I feel like you may lose everything when it goes.
It might be different servers. That might be the real thing, right? Usually with an MMO, they will test it on they'll call it the grandfather server, server 1, and this is the one everybody will test. They'll keep their account there. Some of the first people will get in on server 1, and then they'll start opening up other servers as necessary. But yeah, they might have different servers for all of their tests, which would be dumb as fuck, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot I was gonna have Pastry's animation space behind me. Shoot. Well, I downloaded it, but I don't think I have it on this computer. I think it's on a different. Maybe not. I could switch.
Well, did you get it via email? It'd be pretty easy for you to re-download it.
I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not going to mess with it right now. I'll do it on Monday.
Yeah.
I'll do it on Monday.
I remember you saying to send it to an email and then let me know when you got it so I can delete this message. even though it will permanently be on the screen of the podcast if you go back to yesterday's replay.
Shut up. That's all right.
No, I'm kidding.
I
We actually
gave
already went to the end screen before that. There's no chat on the end screen.
Right, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I'm just trying to make you freak out.
Plus, I used my sort of throwaway email account that
Yeah.
I don't really use, but I got it. I think it's on this other computer, and so I'll do it on Monday. Sorry about that. But anyway, the other thing is I don't really like to do the online thing. I like to just do the local because there's two modes. Online and local.
And you were saying that you just kind of like opened up a room but didn't share the password so you could play by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not exactly getting into the spirit of a beta test, but yeah. So regardless, when I start I'm gonna have to start a new game locally anyway because there's different. I'll have to create a new character because there's different local characters versus multiplayer.
Yeah.
So plus, it only goes through chapter 2, and I'm almost at the end of chapter 2.
I fucking hate some betas.
Yeah, well, I'm at the end of chapter 2 anyway, so I'm like, well, I might fiddle with it on my own, but it is fun to live stream for a couple nights, but I'll just wait for the final release.
Yeah, it's like it was an awful game, but whose beta was actually really good was Elder Scrolls Online. When I was in the alpha for that. The alpha was really good. I continued into the beta. One of the things about it too is like I barely interact with other people because I didn't party, but you still interacted with people, so I was participating. I kind of just ran off into weird places because I'm like, okay, I'm in an alpha. I want a bug report. That's like the whole point of being in here. They give you like this little link to a what's it called, like a ticket that you can send to them about all bugs. So I'm like climbing up mountains. I'm trying to see what's causing me to clip through. Honestly, if the outside of the environment was fine, going out to like the weird places. Of all places I clipped through, I went to go walk into somebody's shop and I went right through because there's like apparently a meshing gap between the door, like they counted the shop as a slightly different environment. So I fell through that like microscopic line between the door frame. I was like, okay, you guys need to make sure this overlaps better and stuff like that. But it was fun. It was really good. The people in it were interactive and fun, but the game just sucked. But I love that shit. That shit's always fun. But that makes more sense when you're playing an MMO to kind of interact with random people too, even if you're kind of playing a solo game. Like maybe you'll see somebody who'll pop up in chat real quick, but you're not going to spend a lot of time with them. Diablo, on the other hand, it's not an MMO. It's a party experience or a solo experience, and I don't like playing games like that with randos. I either want to play it by myself or with people I'm going to be like communicating with the entire time. Whether it's like I make a friend or they are my friend. I don't want to play with just like random in and out people.
Yeah, I played a little bit, I don't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday night, with a streamer named Lil Kodiak, Lil Kodiak. So, we played a little bit together.
That's good. You need a party experience to fully enjoy that game.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, we had both picked paladins, so...
What's wrong with that?
It was like, there's not much variation.
Paladin is the best class.
Nothing, I guess.
Just build differently. Like, Paladin can either be tank, healer, or DPS. Like, you just got it right there.
Yeah.
What would Marsupial Gamer the game
Pastry says,
like?
what would a... Yeah. Here, I'm gonna put
would it just be like game
my new
simulator?
Twitch emotes. What's that?
So wouldn't Marsupial Gamer the game just look like Game Dev Simulator?
Yeah. Or like the AVGN, the game.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No, dude, Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures, that was a really fun game. It's a bullshit game, but that's kind of the point. Like, there's all kinds of shit that will just kill you in one shot for no reason. But the point of that game is to die over and over again.
Right. Yeah, is that the one that like they've released on Switch and stuff, or is that a different?
Yeah, there's two Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. It's the one that's a running gunner like Mega Man.
Yeah.
that was made. Trying to
That reminds
actually
me.
follow them, and they followed me back for a while because of the whole Screw Attack Association.
Yeah. It's like one hit kills. It kind of reminds me of like 6Vs. Like just dying over and over and over.
Well, they
again.
have like literal kill boxes. Like they're just boxes that are like death. It's all it is.
Yeah, if you touch them. But I did get new emotes that I put up on Twitch there. Cool. I doubt they show up on.
Do
they show up anywhere? No, they.
Yeah, dude. The restream they show up. They're in the chat right there. Look at the bottom of the screen.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah. What are they, like little wallabies or something? It's hard for me to make out. They're tiny.
Yeah, or kangaroos, I guess.
Some type of marsupial.
That's right. Yeah, it's just like some woman in Portugal who just was, I guess, was apparently having a hard time, and I just like donated to her coffee account.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh wow, you want me to make you some Twitch emotes?" I was like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know I was buying these, but sure. I was just gonna donate, but since she offered, I was like, sure, why not?"
Yeah. Don't consider that you buy it. It's just it's tit for tat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I didn't ask for anything. And
yeah.
She just offered. So, yeah, I got new Twitch emotes.
That's cool. So, something we were thinking of talking about yesterday, but you wanted to watch the trailer. Did you actually see the trailer for Pokemon Legends of Arceus?
Probably not, but we could put it up on the screen, like muted.
Yeah, we totally can. If you want to find that. I don't have a trailer up at the moment.
Let's see. I assume it's on the Nintendo.
Probably. Or it might be Pokemon Company YouTube. Because Pokemon Company has their own YouTube. I think it just says Pokemon.
Wow, do you want to talk about Quake?
We can, because I am excited about that.
Yeah. It showed up on... Now, I don't know if it's available yet. Is it?
I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen that. It was announced at QuakeCon. I believe it was announced on day 3, which was it yesterday or the day before that? It was really soon because QuakeCon happened this week.
Yeah. I did, but anyway, it showed up on like the Switch online.
Oh, nice.
So I guess it's coming out on several different platforms.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell.
I kind of want it on PC though, just because it's Quake and it's best played with mouse and keyboard. But like, dude, Quake is my favorite of all shooters. So this excites me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Alright, I just have to look up. Oh, here it is. Official trailer. It's on like the IGN page. Here we go. I'll show this. Stop playing.
Yep.
Stop.
Let me tab over so I can grab that.
Trying to get it to stop playing. There we go.
Okay. It should be up in a second.
I'll do what I usually do and slow it down a little bit.
Oh, it's good that you slow it down because I caught it. A lot of people had no idea what the fuck I was talking about because I have a keen eye for this stuff, but it's only on screen for like maybe 6 frames. One of the things I was going to talk about. Yeah, so when it comes up, even if I'm talking about something else, I'll point it out. But one of the things that bothered me about the first trailer is it didn't show off any core gameplay mechanics. And to me, it just looked like Pokemon Go in a Breath of the Wild setting. Right? Which is what made me very, very disappointed. Like, this game doesn't look interesting at all. But my opinion of this has changed slightly. It still doesn't look like it's the great open world Pokemon game that I've been wanting for a long time. But it doesn't look as bad as I initially thought. I don't really give a shit about the movement mechanics, but they did show that there's a lot of, like, riding Pokemon related movement mechanics for getting around the world fast and everything. Just kind of cool. I've been wanting that in traditional games, so I'm not complaining that that's in there. It'll probably be kind of fun to do that. But my biggest complaint was the battle system. How was this game going to be? Because what little we saw of the battles in the first trailer looked like Pokemon Go battle. Like, I really couldn't tell what was going on. Right? They didn't show any HUD or any shit like that. It was just hit. But I think that just happened to be the random move they were showing off. It should probably be coming up maybe in a few seconds from now. But it does look like, aside from this weird style mechanic that they added in, which sets it off from other games, and I'm fine with that, it does look like it's traditional Pokemon battles once you get into battle.
Oh, okay.
And that's the thing that might actually sell me on the game, because I really like traditional Pokemon battles. I don't care. Here's my big problem.
What generation?
I don't like any.
What generation were those starters?
Those starters were 3 different generations.
Oh.
Cyndaquil is Gen 2. Oshawott, I think, is Gen 5. And I can't remember the name of that fucking owl Pokemon. No.
Oh, this is Oshawott?
Yeah, Oshawott is the otter thing there.
Yeah.
I can't remember the owl. It's like Owlet or something like that. And that is Gen 7.
Okay.
So these are all 3 different generations.
Yeah, why not? But none of them are good.
Well, there's a Chimchar. It's not that none of them are good. All starters kind of suck in general. Very few of them are competitively viable. But in this open world game, you don't really care too much about competitive viability, unless they have like a battle mode. They're just none of them I like. It's like none of them were like any of the starters I picked in any generation.
Yeah. So wait, you do just throw a ball at them?
For the weaker Pokemon, it looks like. Right? For like the low level stuff.
Oh, okay.
Right here, look, there is battling, and this is what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, so here's a battle.
You will see the HUD right there, see?
Yeah.
There's actually 4 Pokemon moves. Quick attack. It does look like they're traditional Pokemon battles. This was the biggest thing that I was concerned about. I might actually get this game because of seeing this. And it looked like it was on screen for a good amount of time because you have it slowed down. But if you had it at full speed, that's barely on screen at all.
Right, but they showed it very, very. Yeah. I'll rewind a bit here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, wow. They didn't even. I didn't even see that just now. So you're right. That's on screen.
It's on
very
for like
quickly.
a second at most.
So cool.
And I caught it the first time because I think it's because I'm also looking for it, right? Like nobody else is looking for this shit, but this is what I'm watching the trailer to try to find.
Yeah. That's interesting that they didn't highlight that. Like you'd think that would be a big selling point.
Yeah. Well, it may or may not be.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a nice compromise to say, okay, for the lower level ones, you can just throw a ball at them.
Yeah. Well, because like realistically,
it gets more complicated
in the games. Pokeballs have a low chance at all, but for lower level Pokemon, you always just have kind of a chance of throwing a Pokeball and catching them anyway, if you're willing to take the chance. So that's fine.
That always drove me nuts in Pokemon games is going back and trying to get the lower level things was really hard to do it without knocking them out.
Because you're not doing it right.
That always bugged.
You go with a higher level ball. Not. You just buy a fuck ton of Ultra Balls and just throw Ultra Balls at lower level Pokemon.
Yeah, okay, let me rewind. Because we're talking through one of the biggest
this is the movement
features that was featured here. Yeah. So you're paragliding or whatever on this bird, whatever that is. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That looks sweet. It looks like World of Warcraft.
because it's not paragliding, right? What these are basically being based, they're off the HMs, right? So there's waterfall right there.
Yeah.
We had surf, that was fly up there. So instead of the traditional HMs, they're doing what they did in Sun and Moon Gen 7, which is one of the things I actually liked. I did not complain about it. HMs, I kind of like that you had to sacrifice a move for them in some way because it made you think about how you're going to spec or what you'd waste or whatever. And there was a certain challenge to the game having to do that. But I will admit it was cooler to have the ride feature where you just like called a rental Pokemon and rode them around to where you were going. It would just be cool if you weren't renting somebody else's Pokemon. It was the stuff that you caught, which it looks like these might be the things that you get. I'm not sure. They could be rental. But story-wise, it wouldn't make sense. This would be before most people have Pokemon. You are literally filling out the first Pokedex. That is the like lore of this game.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, this looks like fun. This might be the first Pokemon game. Of course, I said that about Sword and Shield, and I've hardly touched that.
Yeah.
But this might be the first Pokemon I actually play through to the end. Because I've never played through. I can't. It's just too boring.
And so there's also these two modes that we'll see coming up too. And there's like an agility mode and a power mode. So they're kind of like these boost things. And what they do is the agility mode or strong style, like they've got different names for it. The strong style or the power mode and the agile style do different things. So the agile style lets you hit multiple times in a row. And the strong style lets you just do one powerful attack. So there'll be trade-offs on which one you pick.
Yeah.
And I like that because it seems like, it's a cooler bonus thing you can do that might have a cooldown or something to it. But it doesn't seem as busted as like the Mega Evolutions or the Dynamax or any of that stuff. Because while they seem cool cinematically, they're kind of busted for gameplay and make the games worse for it. And this doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I never understood the whole Dynamax thing. I mean, like, I understand how it works. It just seems stupid.
But the battles look all right. I'm not quite certain what the whole deal with this Dark Souls-esque dodging these possessed Pokemon are. Do I have to dodge them in the middle of battle? I don't know what's going on here. Maybe we'll find out more later.
Yeah, are they attacking your character?
Yes, because they're like these feral Pokemon that have been possessed by that weird gem shit that was going around.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's detracting a bit from gameplay for me. It might be cool. It might just be like their substitution for like a Team Rocket type thing. I don't know. I'm just like...
Now we're in an anime.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
But we're not. This is still using the engine. It's just using different shaders and compressing it to make it look more like an anime. Like, you can still see that they're rendered in 3D.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I wouldn't mind if the cutscenes and stuff were like that, to just try to make it look more like the game art.
Yeah. Friday, January 28th.
Yeah. So I've kind of walked back on my initial critique. I still think the remakes of was it Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl look better. Just because they're solid games that are getting upgrades. It's hard to beat something that was already solid. But I've started to grow interest in this game. They might reveal more that will fully sell me on it, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, they're like he's chasing after you.
Yeah, I'm like a little hesitant though on seeing more information, because if I do end up getting sold on it, I don't want them spoiling any shit for me.
Yeah. Interesting.
The real benefit to this is, because we're going to have actual Pokemon battles and it does look like there's a story, is at least we won't be stuck in hallways.
Yeah. Or like very enclosed areas, like even in Pokemon Sword, like you're in this very small area.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean by
And
hallway.
just-
Like, you're in a forest,
Yeah,
but there's, like, dense thicket on each side, and you're just going down this narrow,
Yeah.
maybe winding, but it's still just, you could unravel it into a north or south path. It doesn't matter, like, the shape
yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, I mean, open world, that's the whole idea.
Yeah, I mean,
That sounds cool.
people are like, it's an open world Pokemon. Pokemon has always borderline been open world. The only way they closed it off was needing the HMs and stuff, and that's always been a problem. But you could do something like the old games and make it more open world. I don't know why companies don't want players to screw themselves over. As long as you don't, like, soft lock them into an area where they can't get out, that's fine. Which, even despite everything they've done, restricting things based on movement actually ended up soft locking people into having to restart the game. There was this one point in, I want to say it was Gold and Silver. It was either Gold and Silver or Ruby Sapphire. I can't remember when, but I want to say Gold and Silver, where you have to surf across a lake in somebody's backyard, like a little pool or whatever, to get to a person on the other side, and they would trade a Pokemon with you. Like, it's one of, like, you can only really get this Pokemon through trading it with an NPC. The problem is, there is a really dumb chance, if you're not paying attention, that the Pokemon they want in trade may be the Pokemon on your team that knows Surf. And if you don't have anybody else on your team that can learn Surf, because the Pokemon they give you can't, then you're just stuck there.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to reset the game to whenever you last saved. Or if you're dumb enough to save after you got the Pokemon before realizing you can't make it back, then you have to restart the entire game.
Yeah. It's funny that they didn't think of that.
Yeah. And that's all because of their dumb idea of, like, restricting movement in the game to, like, well, you need this thing that has Surf. Now, in the game like this, it may not be a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some bonus stuff that are on an island out there, or, you know, you might be able to go somewhere faster by hopping in a river or a lake with Pokemon, but ultimately you can kind of, like, get around it by taking the long way. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, can you swim? Can you just swim?
I'm assuming your character
slowly.
can't. You probably need a Pokemon to do that. But then again, once you have the ability to fly, I think pretty much everything is opened up to you.
Yeah.
Except for, like...
Yeah, I saw people complaining about the graphics.
What about the graphics?
Sorry. Just complaining that it's, you know, it's Breath of the Wild cel-shaded type graphics, you know.
Well,
They're
it
like,
looks a
"Oh,
hell of a lot better than Sword and Shield.
Yeah, well, that's true. But you know, that's not the focus. It's not supposed to be, I don't know, what...
It's not Detective Pikachu.
Final Fantasy VII Remake or something. Yeah. It's not a PS5 game. It's a Switch game.
I like these graphics. I wouldn't want hyper-realistic open-world Pokemon. That would actually turn me off from the game even more.
Yeah. That would be, a little Uncanny Valley creepy. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if they made it look like Detective Pikachu, that wouldn't be so bad. But the problem is the Pokemon would be the only things that look good like that. Because, I'm sorry, even with things like MetaHuman and stuff, when you go hyper-realistic with humans in video games, they still don't look good yet. And they don't age well. They seem fantastic at the time, but then go back and play a game like... People were saying The Last of Us characters looked great at the time. Go back and play the original Last of Us. Tell me how good those characters look.
Yeah.
Stylized games like this age really well. I could go back and play Wind Waker, not the HD version, but the GameCube version, and Wind Waker still looks amazing to me because how hyper stylized it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Mario Sunshine.
Well, I've watched the.
You have.
Let's see here. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, I think it's overloading my.
You're blinking for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I think, the screen sharing, because while I'm doing that, is basically my computer registers that I'm watching a video, right? Like I'm watching a stream,
Oh,
which
I
I'm
see.
normally not doing while we're streaming and doing all this shit. So it's just overloading my encoding a bit, and it's prioritizing the thing I'm watching over like all these effects that are going on my webcam.
So that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I was kind of interested from the very beginning. I hadn't seen much on it, but I was like, ooh,
yeah, but like you understand my concerns as a longtime Pokemon fan, why I was feeling the way I was up until I saw that. I'm like, okay, well, at least I have my Pokemon battles.
Yeah.
Because my problem with, I thought it was going to be like Let's Go. Because the problem with Let's Go is even in the later areas, you don't suddenly have Pokemon battles to like weaken and capture things. You're still just doing the Pokemon Go shit. Like, where's the fun in that?
Yeah, just throwing balls. Which, you know, if you don't mind, like, ultra repetitive, very, very little skill required.
I mean, it's kind of,
I guess,
what I do in most Pokemon games later on, but it's like that's like end game where I buy a fuck ton of Ultra Balls and I'm going to clean up things that I didn't get before. That's not like the core game experience.
Yeah. Now I want to play Pokemon Let's Go.
Oh man, I fucking hated Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. To date, they're probably my least favorite Pokemon games.
What's funny is that I liked Pokemon Go. I played that all the time.
Pokemon Go is fine for what it is, right? Like a thing that gets you out of the house walking. There's a moderate amount of skill. Like some Pokemon are harder to catch than others, but it's also something you're doing while you're moving. You don't want to stand in one place for too long. So it is perfectly fine for exactly what it does. Bringing that environment into a console game, on the other hand, I was actually offended by that. I'm like, Game Freak, you fucking offended me.
Yeah.
As somebody who's been supporting you since the very first Pokemon game, I am offended.
Yeah.
I'd rather go back and, if I want a Kanto remake, I'm just gonna go play Fire Red or Leaf Green again.
Yeah. Pastry says, "I don't leave the house without Pokemon now."
That's fair though. Like, I don't shit on anybody who likes Pokemon Go. It's not for me. I respect that. One of the reasons is because I'm somebody who just goes on walks and stuff all the time. You're like, oh well, then you must love Pokemon Go. It's like, no, because when I'm on walks, that's my brainstorming moment or whatever. Like, you know, I'm thinking of things. It's getting my juices moving. I don't need an excuse to leave the house. But for a lot of people that it got them out because they enjoy the game, all for you. Like, I applaud the game and what it's done for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not for me.
Yeah. Well, today might be trailers day. You want me to show you another trailer we can talk about?
Yes, sure. I'm fine with blinking. What are we doing? Are we going back to Quake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude. Quake is my fucking favorite.
First thing you see on the screen. Mature violence, blood and gore. Probably not too much in the trailer, but... So, yeah. Apparently, it's right now.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. Go and download it right now.
Real quick, though. Rebellious wants to know, what team are you on?
Oh, I don't even remember.
I know a team I was on because I did try it for a little bit to know whether it was for me or not. I was on Valor. So you were on freaking Mystic. That would have been the blue team.
Valor was red, right?
Yes.
I feel like maybe I was on Valor. Maybe I was red. I don't remember. I'd have to look at. I feel like I would not have picked Mystic.
Yeah. I honestly could not have picked Valor, especially because I have a superhero named Valor who wears red. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I kind of have to.
Yeah, now I'll have to. I don't even have the app installed, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'll have to
It's
install
not
it.
even my favorite legendary bird either, right? Because like, I'm more of a Zapdos person. Zapdos is my favorite legendary bird, but like I had to be on Valor.
Pastry is blue apparently, so I don't know. I'll log in.
As long as you're not the yellow
out.
team though, because that's all the glue sniffers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, who's yellow? Yuck.
Yeah.
That's like the what's the
I think it would be called Team Instinct or something like that, but
yeah, that's like the Hufflepuff of
yeah,
Pokemon Go.
Well, like we even made fun of it too. I wasn't even playing, but I was laughing because half the groups that I'd walk around with, they'd all be playing, and it's like red and blue.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only things. There's like no yellow in there. We came across a GameStop,
Yeah,
which was the local gym, and it was taken over by yellow. And it was nothing but Magikarps. They're like, oh, we're going to take this back easily. Why would you just... Why, for the meme, why would you just put Magikarps in the fucking gym? You know you're going to get it taken from you.
Yes. Oh my god, I have so many Magikarps, though.
It's like fucking glue sniffers. That's all they are.
Alright, are you ready for this trailer?
Yes, I am ready for Quake.
Yeah.
Dark fantasy shit, here we come.
Yeah, I remember when it came out. I was in college, of course, and yeah, it was like Doom, but awesomer.
Yeah. And I think one of my Newgrounds buddies was actually playing this last night, but I couldn't tell if he was playing this version or the original, like whether it was out or not, because of how compressed his screen was.
Yeah.
But yes, dude, fucking Quake remastered. That's all this is, and it looks great because they didn't fucking change a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really just upgraded graphics, right?
Kind of. Like, I think what it looks like is it's not done in the original engine. They just redid the whole game, like, in a new engine, keeping the physics and everything.
Yeah, it's like Unreal, isn't it?
I think so.
They redo it in Unreal.
But like all the models look exactly the same. It looks like you're in the same environment. Everything is just doing things exactly. And there's an all new expansion. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
We added a new part of the game that we never played before. Fucking Kakariko Village over here. Like, ah, man, I'm shaking. I need it. And if you would like to help me play this game, you can donate straight to the show via streamlabs.com/Vomitorium Live. By filling out our hosting fees, it means I have more money I can spend on video games. And I can give you more hands-on reviews of how good or absolutely crappy something is. But this looks great. Like, I mean, it's literally just Quake, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm not good at FPSs, just have to tell you.
Oh, yeah. Which means you must struggle a lot with boomer shooters like this. Because these are, like, hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people play, like, you know, speed runs of Doom and all that. And I'm just like, how? How do you even know what's going on? I can't.
No, I'm actually, like, really good at first-person shooters.
Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are.
Yeah.
You look like one of those people. Just kidding.
I'm good at a lot of things that require reflexes.
Yeah, yeah. I sped it up to full speed so you can see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just took. It's amazing that they just took the time to do one for one, completely remade, but exactly the same.
And yeah, and we were afraid that we thought it was just going to be like a shader model update. Because the company that's doing this is Machine Games. They're the same company that is currently doing the Wolfenstein series, right? There was just a trilogy that was made. And they're also making an Indiana Jones game series for like Universal and stuff like that. And we're like, well, do they have time to do something like this? Apparently they did, because they had enough time to actually make a whole new expansion campaign for the game that didn't exist before. These guys are fucking bosses. That's what they are. And I was a little concerned when they said it was going to be done by Machine Games, because I'm not particularly a fan of the new Wolfenstein games. A lot of people are. I get why they are. But to me, they suffer in some of the same ways that, like, id's new frickin' what's it called, Doom games do, like Doom 2016 and the recent one, where they resemble the games, but they just don't feel quite the same. But this is literally the game, so I'm happy for it. Like, they didn't fuck with anything whatsoever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of interesting news lately. Guess what else is coming out? Another Skyrim.
Oh, another Skyrim? What kind of HD 4K edition are we getting now? Is that what we're
getting? You didn't know about that?
Is it
something
4K
like
edition?
that? Yeah. I don't think it is. It's anniversary edition, since it's coming up on the 10th anniversary.
The 10th anniversary. And so, think about that, people. The 10th anniversary edition of Skyrim, but we haven't had a single other Elder Scrolls game in the main series. There was Elder Scrolls Online, which sucks, and is almost as old as Skyrim, so it's also soon, within a year or two, coming on its 10th anniversary. And Elder Scrolls Blades for the frickin' mobile. We're going to get a Blades 2 before we actually get the next Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
Also, you're being harassed.
Well, guess what it has in it? Oh, I am? Uh-oh.
Yes.
Where's the boomerang box? Oh, Jiminy Cricket should have it. Check with Jiminy. I'll double check, but he should have it. It's not here.
Yeah, you sent it out.
Yeah, I moved on. Yeah, check with Jason Robinson. He should have the boomerang box.
Either that or it's.
It includes a fishing mechanic.
Oh my fucking god! Why?
Yeah, I've got the tracking number. I'll check it later.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, it's basically special edition. It's special edition with fishing. So now you can fish it.
I mean, I guess it wasn't finally a finished game without fishing added to it.
They must have had Mark Kern consulting on this.
Yeah.
The guy who added fishing to Warcraft, the World of Warcraft.
Like, maybe, just maybe, you should have just had fishing in there from the start. Maybe in the next game you'll just do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it took them 10 years, but they finally brought fishing to Skyrim.
And hopefully, because Skyrim's always had problem with water mechanics, the game doesn't crash the second your lure hits the pond.
Oh, I'm sure it will. That's a feature.
It's not a bug.
Yeah. It has all the stuff that is in Special Edition, all the 3 expansions. And it also includes 500 pieces of Creation Club content. Is that like mods that people made?
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Remember how I told you, like, you had to go through their store or their little thing to get mods on consoles? That's the Creation Club.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Did you
okay.
ever clip out your video from here? Like,
Okay.
we did it live on this channel because Diller's asking if you made a video. Did you ever clip it out?
Yeah, I have it. I have it locally. I will clip it out tonight, and we'll
Get it sorted.
I'll premiere it tomorrow. Yeah,
While you're out being.
I know. I've been totally delinquent with that, but yeah. Well, we don't need to talk about that.
We can talk about it. People need to know why you won't be here tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's a free
are
country.
you going to do the
whatever
show
the
without
fuck you
me,
want.
or
I may or may not.
Yeah.
If you're definitely going to be gone, I'll look to see if I can get somebody else on here because I'm not going to do it alone. If I get somebody else, we'll still have a show. If not, I'll let people know early enough that we're canceling the show. But don't worry about it. Like I'll have it handled.
Yeah, I don't think. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be here tomorrow because I'm going to Coleman, Alabama. It's only a 45-minute drive north to a Donald Trump rally. I'm going to be the Hard News Network HNN correspondent, and I plan on live streaming it to my channel. So, yes, Dillard, I did the video. I haven't put it up on my channel yet, so I will. I'll do that tonight, and we'll do a premiere tomorrow. But yes, I am not going to be here because the rally, you can get in at 2 o'clock, but it doesn't start until 7. So I'll be there at 7 o'clock, hopefully live streaming on my channel.
Yeah, I mean, definitely have fun with that. maybe if you are live streaming, we'll for a brief moment I'll stream snipe you just for like a couple minutes to check in on you, and then we'll kick you back out.
Yeah. I'll be sure and tweet it and everything and let everyone know if and when I'm. Yeah.
It's not something I personally would do, but as an American citizen, god damn it, it's your right to do this stuff.
That's right. Why Trump rally? Because he's here.
Yeah.
Honestly, because he's here. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, he's going to be in Coleman, Alabama. That's like less than an hour away. Why not?
Yeah.
Something to do. I was like, I don't really care, but maybe it'll be fun. Figure I'd live stream it and get some content. Maybe I'll interview people. I could interview
see what's
people.
going on down there. Yeah. Maybe get yourself a red hat.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not gung ho at all about it. I just thought it would be fun.
To do. Yeah. It's an experience. You're like, why not?
Yeah.
My problem is like anytime, like I would go to any rally, right? Even for somebody like I just absolutely don't like. I would just want to see what's going on there. But like all the rallies tend to be in the North Dallas area or whatever. It's like I'm not going all the way up there. Like maybe if I had a stable ride situation, I would. But it's like I'm not going up there just for some shit like that. I don't even if I like the person, I want to go up there for some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, and that's fine, Rebellious. You can totally be a fuck Trump person because again, as an American citizen, that's your goddamn right.
That's right. No, I'll be interested to see. I mean, seriously, I might like see if I can just not like interview, but just talk to people and ask them what they think about things.
Yeah, how things are going, like how you feeling, how all that shit.
I mean, I might, I'd probably tie it into something relevant to my life. Like I'd say, so what do you think about Superman being gay now in the comics? And
what's your opinion on independent video games?
That's right. What do you think? What do you think about Pokimane?
Oh God. That most of them probably wouldn't even know who Pokimane is. They just be like, "Is that? Are you just saying Pokemon bad?" That's what I thought at first. So yeah. Like, do you guys like Pokimane? And like, oh, well, a lot of people would say like Pokemans and stuff back in the day. So I thought that's what they were saying. Then I found out who Pokimane is. I'm like, I regret everything.
Yeah, I regret all my life choices now. I'll ask them. I'll ask them what they think about Rebellious Pastry. Maybe they'll say, "Oh, I love that. I love that channel."
Yeah.
Batman is the gay one too. No. That's Robin. Robin is gay.
Yeah, Robin's
well,
the gay
maybe.
one. Oh, bi. Tim. They just actually said that Tim Drake was bi. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
No, he was never the one to wear the shorts.
I'm gonna go to.
It was Dick. Tim wore pants.
Yeah.
Tight pants.
Yeah, I'll go up to him and be like, I'll find someone with a MAGA hat on, and I'll be like, "So, Robin's gay, Superman's gay, Ice Man. What do you think about comics these days? Isn't it great?"
Yeah.
See what they say. Who knows? See if they've heard of Comicsgate. Maybe they have. Who knows?
See, this is the thing I hate about the decision to make Tim gay, because Tim was always obsessed with Robin, right? Like the actual figure that is Robin, right? That's why he found the Batcave and everything in the first place, because he wanted to know who Robin was, the previous one. And that's why he became Robin. That's why his alter ego is the Red Robin and stuff like that. So basically they took his icon, his hero worship, and turned it into a crush. And I think that destroys everything about his character. Like, I didn't get why I was upset about this one particularly at first, but the more I sat there and thought about it, the more it weighed on me. Because if they made, say, Jason Todd bi, I don't think I would have thought anything of him. Like, you know what? He's kind of like a naturally rebellious person or whatever, and his tendencies towards people. I could totally see Jason Todd being bi. But Tim Drake, it actually outright destroys part of, like, the motivation of his character, because it turns him from wanting to become his hero into wanting to fuck him.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
I try not.
That's interesting.
Like,
What do you?
That was the first thing about DC that I've seen or about in months. Like, in general, I try to ignore Marvel and DC, because as far as I'm concerned, they're just gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't care either.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of hilarious that all of these. Have you heard about? Did we talk about Substack at all?
Yeah, we shortly
on the channel,
but I don't know if we actually
briefly
discussed it here. I know you and I talked about it and how Substack's doing comics now.
So there's a bunch of really big name comic book pros who are jumping ship from the big two or wherever they were, and joining Substack and doing online comic books, I guess, with Substack, with their own IPs that they own.
Yeah.
They don't have to, be paid by Marvel or DC or anything. And they're getting huge advances, like $100,000 advances from Substack. Basically, here's a bunch of money, go make comics.
Yeah.
Like, awesome.
Well, because they want to attract the big names, because if they attract the big names, then smaller people who obviously can't get advances but are just trying to look to make digital comics will go over there, and then they'll actually now have this infrastructure of, much like their other prescription literature, comics now.
Yeah. What's funny is the people who are not getting offers are fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hilarious.
And they're people who are bad at writing comics, right? Like, all these assholes that we've seen currently in, like, Marvel and DC that have been pushing the people that are actually getting the bids out are mad because they're not good at writing comics and they're not getting offers for this shit.
Yeah. It's hilarious. And it just reinforces, to me, to me, this is kind of an inflection point. And I feel like we hadn't reached this point until now, until this Substack, and it may or may not flop or whatever, but for me at least, it's a point where it's like, I may have said it in the past, but now I truly mean it when I say I don't care about mainstream comics.
I don't
care. It's just like, like I said, I may have said it before, but maybe wasn't like fully. Like, I still kind of cared, but it's like, like the news this week and I don't even understand the ins and outs of it, but the news this week about Superman being gay, and I'm just like, okay,
Whatever.
great,
Do
wonderful.
what you fucking want.
Do it.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I do not care. Yeah, exactly. It's like before. It's not, I might have like even cared enough to look into it and be like, oh, what's this all about?
Yeah.
Did it make sense? Did they do a good story? All that. Now I just I don't care.
My gradual decline. I stopped buying. I think the last mainstream comic book I bought was in 2018, right? And it was like a lesser known thing. It actually might have been like a Moon Knight, right? Because Moon Knight hadn't been taken yet. And it was like one of the last things that I bought. And after that, I haven't bought a mainstream comic. Up to that point, it was rare. I was still pirating things just because I wanted to keep up with it. It's like, I'm not going to support you, but I kind of want to know what's going on. Now I'm at the point that I don't even bother pirating because I just don't give a shit about what's going on in their world anymore. They've just completely soiled it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, for anyone, if Rebellious Pastry's still listening or whatever, I still like manga. And here's the thing that manga does. There are there are a normal amount of gay characters in manga.
Oh, yeah.
They don't
always have
make a big deal about it. They just are.
Yeah,
always have been, exactly. And it's just like, they're not like, oh, look at this character, isn't, first ever, and all that bullshit. It's just like, oh, it's just a normal person in the normal world, and let's focus on the story because that's the important thing.
You even talk about, I don't think they would ever describe it that way because the Japanese have no, inclination of what this is. You could even say that there are, ace characters in manga because there are plenty of characters that show clearly no intention on ever having any type of relationship with anyone. That's not what drives them.
Yeah.
Right? And these are just characters that exist because that's just how manga
Evangelion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been, sort of watching a little bit of that, the Evangelion. Yeah, they're completely arrow ace, right?
Yeah, you would probably use that term
kind of
in
characters,
the modern Western sense, but Japan wouldn't. They have no idea what that means. They just write characters.
But right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, they don't make a big deal about it. They're just like, okay, that's just how they are.
Yeah.
And nobody treats them any differently. And it's like, but in Western comics, and we talked about this before, how it's so ridiculously formulaic. How it's like, oh, we're going to turn this character who has never been gay for 30 years. Suddenly we're going to pretend they're gay. And here's what we're going to do. Issue 1, they come out to their friends and family. Issue 2, issue 1, they come out to their family. Issue 2, they come out to their friends or something like that. Or they go on a date. Issue 3, they have to deal with a bigot. And then issue 4, there's no more story. They've run out of ideas. Because it's like, that's all they could come up with.
I
it's like, okay, how is just being gay? That's not a story.
I completely agree with Dillard here. He says watching the mainstream trying to be woke and edgy is like listening to a drunk girl at a party talk about life and philosophy. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's tiring. It's just tiring.
So anyway,
that's all it is.
with all these Substack deals and all of the good talent truly leaving the mainstream and going over to Substack, and then I'm even seeing more and more people come over to Comicsgate and do indie comics there.
So I was going to say this,
and
Substack it particularly pisses them off, because even before this, Substack has been pissing off those type of people, because there's been a lot of really good journalists that have been leaving the mainstream who want to actually report on shit that have been going the Substack, and that's where they've been doing their journalism. It's like, hey, I need to make money. If you want to see what I'm talking about, give me $5 a month and you can see all the stories that I'm putting out every single week, right? This place has already been pissing these people off, and now they're just doing it even more now.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, I think it's reached truly that point where it's just hopefully other people will kind of get on board where I think you and I are, where it's just like mainstream, do whatever you want. We really, truly don't.
The opinion I've slowly been getting over since like 2014 or 15.
Yeah.
It's like I knew where I was heading. It was taking a few years to get over that hill.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. So yeah, but it's just hilarious to see people just totally freaking out, because here's the thing, and for anyone who's familiar with Zach, the guy who does Comics Matter with your boy Zach videos on YouTube, he's been talking about this Substack stuff and basically saying, and I've completely lost my train of thought. Basically saying what we're saying, that there's just, I know what I was going to say. He's been saying that the whole thing of quote unquote woke politics taking over an industry like comics.
Yeah.
The way you defeat that is to just, it's basically with money. You basically take all the talented people and you go and you build your own thing somewhere else. You say, okay, you took over, congratulations, goodbye.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they're left with nothing. So,
well, it's needed to hit critical mass, and the big problem, you look at all these industries, it's been the over corporatization of everything, right? Because the internet specifically, for a while, we've been seeing, this is like the mid-aughts, the rise of the indies in like every sense, right? People are leaving TV for more independent content being made in video production online. People are slowly reading less and less novels, believe it or not, outside of like maybe an audiobook or whatever in the classics, in favor of reading episodic stories and blogs and stuff that people are posting online. People are slowly reading less mainstream comics in favor of webcomics and even independent comics that people are making online. We're seeing this whole transition away from big corporate stuff for the most part towards independent content creation that's been going on since roughly 2002, but most people haven't really been paying attention, especially with some things like video. You don't really even see that coming up until around 2005, 2006, especially with animation. Like, sure, there's been stuff since Flash, but around 2005, 2006 is even when that really kicks off. Comics, you see that kind of becoming even more popular around 2010, 2011, but I would say around 2017, 2018 is when it really started booming in this department. And it's just been this slow transition into the independent space for most content, because you could just get it readily available online as opposed to being charged an arm and a leg to get it from these big stores.
Yeah. And it's definitely truly diverse. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. You can get manga, you can get superheroes, you can get slice of life, Yeah,
it's not like comics are being shoved down your throat. Here in the States, we call it genre work, but everywhere else, it's like, well, everything's genre, right? It's not dominated by one thing, so that's, you get anything here in the indie sphere.
Yeah, exactly. And it definitely shows at the bookstore. People are buying stuff that's not mainstream. You got your tiny little comic book section, and then you got your gigantic manga section.
Well, and also even of comic books, one of the few companies that I constantly stress is still doing pretty good at the moment, because they just work with vetted people that make good stories and have like a certain amount of already finished work, is Oni Press. Which they're very little known. They're not big five, but they're still like a publisher. They're like top 10 right now. They're most known for Scott Pilgrim, and that's like probably the only thing people know from them. But Oni Press just makes, they publish independent creators for the most part. Like, they partner with them, and you'll get something like freaking Invader Zim with Johan Vasquez, because he still kind of owns the IP to it. You have to get like some permission from Nickelodeon, but it's mostly Jonin who owns it. Or you'll get all these like crazy things. Brian Lee O'Malley was still doing Snot Girl, which is his like follow-up thing that he did after Scott Pilgrim. Odie's doing good, but nobody goes into a comic book store at all, so they don't even know to look for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I should go to my local comic book store because I still need to get paints to paint my miniature.
Well, that's the thing. They're mostly
Canadian
hobby
Shield
stores now, right? Like they're hardly comic stores.
Yeah.
But we're at the end of the show. I think that's enough of that topic. Running a little over after starting a little early.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching, either now or in the future. If you like the show, please share it with somebody else who might enjoy it. And if you really like the show, consider giving a donation to streamlabs.com/Vomitorium live. So that's less money from my other income sources that has to go towards the hosting fees. And I'll possibly see you tomorrow. Marsupial definitely probably won't. But I'll let everybody know via... Yeah, maybe you'll call in. I'll let people know via the Discord or the Twitter or both. If we'll cancel it. If I don't update something, just assume the show's going on. I'll see if I can get a fill-in. But otherwise, take care. And we'll see you in the next episode.
See you later. Have a good weekend.